Welcome, paranormal enthusiasts, to this week's episode of Creepin It Reel, here on the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network, where everyone comes for their paranormal fix. Real people, real stories, in real time. So glad you could join us for some ghostly gab. I'm your host, Eleanor Wagner. Hey there, everyone. As always, I appreciate you hitting the subscribe tab, follow button, or show app on your podcast of choice. Everybody, give a hello shout out to our coast to coast techie, Chris Mabry. He'll be working hard tonight to help us run smoothly. My guests today are members of Truth Be Told Paranormal. Join me in welcoming Stephanie and Kevin to the show. Welcome.
Hi.
So, how long have you all been involved in the paranormal? What got you started?
2020. Yeah.
September of 2020 was our first one.
Oh, okay. So you kind of always been fascinated with the paranormal and decided to start investigating?
Yes. Yeah. It was always Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It was always something that I had been interested in even as a child because I had witnessed things as a child. So that's what,
prompted you. So you're sensitive to spirit. So that helps. That's for sure.
Yes.
Well, I asked you to bring along with you 3 of your favorite investigations that warranted some good evidence, and you sent up some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
And we're going to start talking about the Hotel Josephine, which is in Holton, Kansas. For the listeners, Hotel Josephine was built by A.D. Walker in 1889, and the hotel was named after Walker's daughter, Josephine, who was born in September of 1889. The Josephine opened when she was just 4 months old, and it was in operation continuously longer than any hotel west of Mississippi until it closed in December of 2010. In May of 2011, the hotel was purchased by the Chili's family and reopened. In November 2020, Sarah Fox purchased and revamped the hotel to bring out a more modern feel to the historic building. It is considered to be the most haunted hotel in Kansas. I just got to share with the listeners the rules that they have posted for private ghost hunting. There are some restricted areas, obviously, which is understandable and quite common, but they specifically say no Ouija boards, no provoking and scolding spirits, no saging or attempting to cleanse, and no conjuring. I found that quite interesting. So what made you want to go to the Josephine? Is it because it was the most haunted hotel, or did it just like pop up?
Yeah, that's what it was. And we actually got a funny story about Josephine. When we went there, there was a family emergency. So we had the whole hotel to ourselves for 2 days.
Oh, that's great. That's really great.
It was crazy. I mean,
and it was just
go ahead.
Just you two?
Just us two.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It was one of the craziest trips I've ever been on.
Tell me what happened.
You want to tell her?
First night was all right. Just calm, relaxing, not too bad, nothing really great. And the second night is when we really got left 100% alone. Yeah, I guess you could tell there.
They basically were coming over our spirit box saying they're going to get Kevin. They want to hurt him. I mean, it was just crazy, some of the things that we were coming through. And it was just, I will never go back.
Oh my gosh. Really? Because of that, huh?
Yeah. I mean, some of the things that were happening, it was one of the scariest experiences of my whole entire life. And I will never go back. And I've been to Villisca. I've been to some pretty scary places, but that is the scariest place I have ever been to.
Well, I know you brought 2 videos with you from the Josephine. The one is some footage from the hotel. You want to run that by us before Chris puts it up for the viewers and listeners?
There's so many. I can't remember which ones I sent you.
Oh, okay. All right. So you know what? We'll let him run it, and then we can talk about it. How's that? No, that's not the picture. It's the video that I sent you, Chris.
Yeah.
Do you have it, Chris? Hello, Chris. We are experiencing technical difficulties. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on.
Was it the bathroom one?
I think there's one of the bathroom ones. I can't remember.
Chris, have we lost you? Have we lost contact with you?
Uh-oh.
Oh, I hope everything's all right. Sorry, guys. Well, we may have lost contact with him as soon as this is the first time this has ever happened. So we'll just have to. I'm trying to think. That picture that's on there is not the Hotel Josephine. That is Malvern Manor.
I
And
told you. I knew it was when I saw it.
we'll be talking about that later. Okay, he took that down, so he must be on here somewhere. And hopefully he gets the footage that is some footage from the Hotel Josephine that he's going to put up. What's going on, Chris? We having technical difficulties here?
Yeah, but I think we got it. Hold on.
Okay.
Here it is.
Oh, mine's going off too.
Oh,
Hi. So somebody likes me down here. Oh my goodness. I'm holding this, guys. I'm literally holding this and it's going crazy. I have no phone on me. I have my S box, but it's turned off, so there shouldn't be no energy coming off of me.
yeah, I'm close to it. Nothing's going on. Oh, people.
They're outside.
Want to explain that?
You can explain it. You go ahead. Go ahead. He's trying to explain it.
Those are the two dolls they have in the basement. They reportedly, I guess, when they're doing renovations, I can't remember exactly when, but they found those in the walls when they were tearing them apart.
Oh, really? In the walls?
Yeah, they don't know how long they've been there.
Hmm.
All I know is when we had our EMF detectors on them, they started going nuts at one point in the night, and then after that, it just kind of went away.
Supposedly,
I believe it.
2 little girls and a grown man stay in that basement, supposedly. And I totally believe that 100%. We had little kids coming through. Lots of, there was a lot of people there. A lot.
Is there some sort of sordid story that surrounds the hotel, or is it just haunted because of the age and the history?
There is a story that they're not 100% if it's true or not, but they think a serial killer stayed up in the Grover Cleveland suite. Like there used to be a room where the bathrooms are, and when people go into that bathroom in the Grover Cleveland suite, it feels like they're being choked.
It doesn't help that there's back-to-back mirrors in there on both sides of the wall too. So.
Oh yeah, that's not good.
Yeah,
you don't want mirrors facing each other. It's never a good thing. It's just a portal.
Yeah,
for things to
there's
happen.
A portal there. I do believe it's a portal.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely. I for sure. When you hear about mirrors facing one another, it's just no doubt. Well, you have this other video too. That's a sneak peek of a surprise, Josephine's surprise. So I'll let Chris run that one, and then we could talk about that.
Experience in here with us? I would like to make your presence known.
Go away. Daddy.
those catches. Why don't you tell us about it?
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, I know it's hard to hear it. So that is the Grover Cleveland Suite bathroom, and we had so many voices coming through, and we got like somebody saying "Daddy." What was the other one? Get out. I know in one video our ovulus goes crazy and saying religious things. So yeah.
And then we asked how many are with us, and then it said thousands.
Oh, wow.
That
So
was
you think you were more fearful of not being there and not wanting to go back because of the things coming through the portal?
I want to go back.
He wants to go back. I won't go back because I think it should be that one spirit. That one spirit that there is there. I feel like it's extremely dangerous. And they said that the people that owned it, I was talking to the owner, and she said that her sons were getting scratched and attacked. So
Huh.
that's one of the reasons why I don't want to go back. I don't mess with that kind of stuff when they actually try to hurt you.
A lot of the times it's because they're um, not being acknowledged and they're angry.
Mm.
And a lot of the times, if you just acknowledge them, it fixes the problem.
Yeah.
Because think of the frustration they are having in
Oh, yeah.
trying to communicate with people, and not to say that scratching and harming anybody is a good thing, but that's what ends up happening when they don't get acknowledged and they get frustrated.
Oh, yeah.
At least that's what I've learned from my experience. But nobody likes to get scratched.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
well, the Malvern Manor, which is the next one we're going to put up. He could put that there. There's that picture again. I love that old picture. It's the fourth structure built in Malvern and named the Cottage Hotel. Its original clientele were people who came via the railroad, which today is the Wabash Trace Nature Trail in Iowa. In the 50s, it was turned into a care facility. Years later, more of a group home setting where people with ranging ailments all lived in the home together. It's no doubt that the Malvern Manor has a storied history. As I understand it, the building is the one that inspired the Conjuring story, correct?
I'm not sure about that.
That's what I thought I had read. But in June of 70, Andrea Perron's family found this glorious farm, and then they moved mountains to buy what was known as the old Arnold estate. Can you fill us in on what it was and what's the history behind it and why it's so haunted?
Okay, so like you're correct about it being a hotel. It was a hotel to begin with. Then it turned into the nursing home. Was it the nursing home?
I think it was nursing home last.
Oh, it was nursing home, or was it
I think it was the asylum.
the asylum? They had a psych ward there, and it could range from anyone that just had a little bit something wrong with them to somebody who was criminally insane.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was the nursing home, and they closed that down in, what was it, 2015 or 5? 2005. They closed it down because it was not safe. I mean, narrow hallways, they couldn't get the patients through and stuff. So yeah,
They were overpopulated. What is kind of
no,
like
the
what you?
hallways were really narrow. So like if you
Oh,
have elderly people and then you'd be in a wheelchair, you're not going to get through there with them. So
right.
yeah, that's one of the reasons they closed it down. And plus they were not treating the patients all that great.
Hmm.
So
That's kind of the history you find out about places like that. I know we did Penhurst last winter, and same thing. I mean, it was meant to be this place to harbor people who were ill and needed help, and there was more maltreatment than there was help.
yeah,
And it's really, and it's no wonder the place is haunted because of the torturous conditions that they've gone through. And I seem to hear that about so many places like that. It's so sad.
yes, yeah. I know on the second floor they still have like blood on the walls and stuff like that. They cover
Oh,
it up because they believe that something might be attached to it or something. I don't know. He just didn't clean it off the walls.
I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
When did you guys go there? When did you investigate it?
January 1st, 2021.
And what happened while you were there?
It was one of the best experiences ever. I loved it. The
Really?
girls were friendly. It was freezing. It was -9 degrees outside. There's no heat.
Oh,
It was 9 degrees
yeah.
in the building.
Mm.
And I mean, the ghosts were so friendly. They loved to talk. We actually caught a shadow figure. I couldn't find the clip for you. I tried, and I was like, "Oh, where'd he go?" What else? What else?
I think it was the little girl's name that they say.
Inez.
Inez.
Yes, Inez. She follows you everywhere, but they don't think it's who she's claiming to be. They
Oh,
think it's
really?
something a little bit darker, because that little girl, the story's true about Inez. That's 100% true. But she lived down the street, and where she did it was down the street. So the owner's not sure if it's actually her or not. So yeah.
Well, spirits can travel, so she might want to join
Yeah.
in the fun when the people are there that are connected mediums that can sense spirit. They know that, so they're drawn to that.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
she might want to just take advantage of being acknowledged,
Oh yeah,
So
I do believe they can travel wherever they want to go.
yeah. Well, you brought the video where you're shushed. Somebody shushes
I
you.
think it's a nurse.
So
I really did.
what? You think it was a nurse?
Yeah, I think it was a nurse. A nurse did pass away that worked there, and they think
Uh-huh.
that she's still there. So I think it's her.
So what happened?
We were whispering to each other, and I would say it was about 8 o'clock at night, and I didn't even hear it. I didn't even hear it.
You heard it afterwards when you listened to the audio.
When I was editing, and
right.
What
is that?
I didn't even hear it when we were in the building.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Chris, you want to run that footage of the shush?
That's what I mean. It sounds like a mouth or something. This one? Mouth or something. This one? Mouth or something. This one? That's the only thing I can come up with is it's a nurse and they're shushing us. So.
Yeah, and it does make sense.
And that was
that
in hallway that happened in. So.
In the what hallway?
Shadow Man hallway. There's supposed to be a shadow man that chases you through the building from that hallway. That's his hallway. His room's down there.
They say he was criminally insane.
He killed people.
Oh, really? Ooh.
The nurses would come down or whatever, and then he would supposedly chase them back to their area, and it was a fun game for him, I guess. I don't know. But he would chase them all back to their station, then stop and turn back around.
Interesting. Do you think that he's the spirit that asked you to leave, Kevin?
Yes.
Yeah.
I sat by.
So that next footage that he's going to run where it asks you to leave is down that same hallway?
That's in a room. That's I can't even remember her name right now. That room that we were in, that woman does not like men, and she will constantly ask a man to get out. She does not want men in there. Her husband put her in there and never came back to get her.
That happened a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot when husbands didn't want their wives around anymore. They just would bring them to these hospitals and say that they are mentally unstable and need help, and they would just keep them there, and they would get stuck for the duration of their lives. It's just awful.
Yeah, and
awful.
We got told to leave a lot in that building. A lot. So it's hard for us to pinpoint which parts
which one it was.
Yeah,
Understandable why she wouldn't like guys, though, right?
yeah, she loved having me in there. She would talk to me. My meters would go off. She was very polite, but as soon as he would walk in the room, she would be quiet instantly.
Huh. Well, Chris, you want to run that footage of her asking Kevin to leave, please?
Please go.
Please go. Please go. Yeah, it did. It just said please go. Kevin needs to give Rebecca a peace offering.
Forward.
He did. Alcohol, that might be the guy from the attic.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah,
I
that was Rebecca.
like how you can hear the difference in the voice. You can
Yeah.
tell that it's female,
Yes.
you know?
That's why I like the S box, because it does come out really, really clear. I do have Ovilus 5, but I'm not so sure about it because it is a computer. So,
Right. I can understand that. Wow, that was really cool. So you're going to go back there again, you think?
I
to
want
that one?
to. I want to. I love that place. Just when it's warmer.
Yeah. Yeah, I know when we were in Penhurst, we were all wearing our winter coats
Yeah.
because it was freezing. It was November, I think it was. So I feel your pain.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they had lights on generators here and there, but they couldn't heat the place. So you just had to be prepared with your gloves and your scarves. And so, but it would definitely was a great experience too. If I would highly recommend Penhurst.
Oh, yeah.
It really was a great experience.
I would love to go there.
Yeah, it was really a good one. Well, then you went to McIntyre Villa, which is in Kansas.
Yeah.
And Chris can put, there we go. That it is such a beautiful building. Oh my gosh, I just
Gorgeous.
love that. Love it. That was built in 1889 for an Irish harness and saddle businessman. This large brick mansion was occupied by John McIntyre and his first wife, who died in 1892. He married his second wife, Anna, a widow with 3 sons, in 1895. McIntyre himself died in 1902, and Anna went on to live in the home until her death in 1916, when her brother took residence there until 1925. It became a rooming house thereafter and changed hands a number of times from that point on. It has been the site of many haunted occurrences, including the rocking chair of one of the female residences. She died in the rocking chair, and apparently it moves back and forth. I don't know if you remember that story. But can you fill us in on some of the other notable haunts of that house?
Yes. Let's see. Down in the basement, supposedly you hear a baby cry, which that is true. We did. We heard it twice. And I caught it on camera, but I haven't been able to edit any of my videos yet because I do have 2 small children. So finding time.
Time consuming, yeah. I get that.
Let's see. The guy upstairs, which was McIntyre's second wife's son, he unalived himself upstairs.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And that goes with the photos that we sent you. You just get the vibes that you're not welcome there. You don't want to be in that spot. All the rest of the house is very inviting. But that second floor. Yes, it is definitely a heavy, heavy feeling of you need to leave. So, what else, Ben?
The attic, I guess.
The attic. The attic was pretty cool.
Yeah, they started putting the mirrors at some of these locations around there. Malvern has one.
Villisca has one.
I think, does Josephine have one now too? They're not there on that list, but
I can't remember. There's a couple places that have these mirrors, and supposedly they're portals all into one. And the main hub is at McIntyre Villa. So
now, when you took that photo, Kevin,
Mm-hmm.
You stand in the mirror, you decided to take the picture. Did you notice that there was something there
I did.
in the second picture, or not until later?
Not until
So it's
later.
kind of would you take a bunch of different pictures and then
Yeah.
saw the face? Oh, Chris, please note that there are two different pictures. One that doesn't have a figure in it, and the second. So when you put them up, and then I also made them a side by side, so that you could see them. Because when you sent it to me, I immediately saw that it looked like there was
And
somebody
and he's
over his
alone.
shoulder.
He's alone in the house, completely alone.
Oh, okay. So I think this is the first picture, I think. Well, this one looks like it has a figure next to it too. Put the other one up because then we'll be able to tell for sure. Now, now you see, you don't see it here in this picture. And put this side by side, Chris. There you go. You can clearly see a figure.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like it's making it it's making its appearance in the first one, but coming full on in the second photograph.
Yes.
Which kind of usually happens. And then if you took a third picture, it might be gone. You know, that it can be that quick that it happens that way.
Yeah.
But I do notice that when I take pictures of mirrors and windows, a lot of stuff comes through.
Oh yeah.
You just have to have the time and the patience to sit there and go through all the pictures and zoom in and that sort of thing. But you'd be surprised how much stuff you could pick up in the mirrors and in the windows and glass and stuff. You
Oh,
know, that's a good catch. So what all else happened when you were there that night?
I got touched. As you can tell, I dye my hair different colors in the front, and I had just done it, and I went into the toy room. It's called the toy room, and there's a doll in there that is extremely haunted, and she's got real human hair, and I'm standing there, and my back's towards her, and I'm feeling somebody just like rubbing my hair. And I have the S box, and I go, did somebody touch my hair? And two different voices came through. First was a female, yes, I did. And then a male that said, yeah, it was me.
Mm.
So two different people were
So
touching at the same time, I guess.
yeah. That is a known thing back in the day when they made those dolls. People would donate their hair to be used in creating the dolls.
Mhm.
So it's no wonder that something like that would be haunted. But very cool that you had two spirits touching your hair.
Yes. And I always tell them, don't touch me. And I'm the one that always ends up getting touched.
Always.
He wants to touch him, and I'm like, no.
That's funny.
So,
And you could sometimes it happens and you can almost miss it. And you
mhm.
almost second like it felt like something touched me, you know. So it was good that you did ask and have your equipment going so that you could hear that
I always
response
ask
because
because it could be anything. It could be just like a little bit of wind, anything. I'm just like, I got to make sure that I debunk this before I say anything.
sure.
What happened to you? Anything happened to you? No?
No, not a lot. Other than just shirt getting tugged on a little bit.
Mhm.
Could have been a breeze. You never know.
No, you never can tell, but chances are it was probably something tugging at your shirt. You know.
And I know there is a spirit down in the basement that loves dirty jokes. So,
Oh.
on that, sorry.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, if they like that sort of thing in life, they're going to like that sort of thing in death, right?
Yeah.
What's on your agenda for the months ahead?
Oh, well, let's see. We're moving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're moving
Out of state or just into a different area?
out
Out
of
of state.
Yeah, we're moving to Iowa, back to Iowa. And then we're going to an expo, July. The Oddities and Curiosities Expo, where we'll be doing that. So maybe we can get some footage of that. I don't know what their policy is on that.
Mhm.
And, August.
Those are always fun to go to though because you make a lot of connections in the paranormal world.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gets to know each other, and you build these connections, which are really nice.
Well, and then August we're doing Edinburgh Manor, which is in
Oh,
Iowa.
nice.
Am I right?
I think I don't remember.
Yeah.
Top of my head, but
Yes. We're excited about that one. That one's a big.
Oh, I'll bet. Yeah.
supposedly over 150 deaths there.
You guys are going to have to let me know how that pans out for you.
It's gonna be crazy. I just know it.
Yeah. Do you ever team up with any other teams, or is it just you guys go by yourselves?
Sometimes we have like family members. Like sometimes my sisters go. I would
Mhm.
team up with other paranormal groups. We just don't have any
Mhm.
for us.
In that link that we met, that chat group, it's a good way to find if there's anybody local to where you are. Like my team, we right now we have 7 people, but having gone to a Paracon, I was able to make connections with other teams, and since then we've done some joint investigations, which I like to do that because then you get to see the way other groups do their thing, and it also opens up uh, your group to investigations that you might not otherwise have even gone to. See, like I write books about true account paranormal, so I do get a lot of people that are readers of mine that'll say, my house is haunted. Can you come and do an investigation in my home? So we do get a lot of private residences and businesses, but to be able to go to these like well-known haunts like the villa and a manor, those are usually fewer and far between. So when you have another team that you're working with, they become more available, more
Yeah,
readily available.
yeah, because
So that's the fun part.
people don't realize how expensive it really
Yeah,
is.
it's true. So then if you do go like with another group, if there's a fee, let's just say we're going to Hell House in July, and to have that for overnight, I want to say it was like $700.
But the one in
So they allow, but that's pretty reasonable because Burn Bray was 1,200.
And
So
is
so
it
you
hills is like 1,000, and I mean it's just so. But so far,
when you have like 7 or 8 people and then you divide the fee,
mhm,
it makes it more readily accessible
mm.
as opposed to
So far
just the two of you going.
I have found has been probably the cheapest. Most paranormal places that you go to range from anywhere from 250 to, I think Velisca was 428.
Oh wow,
So
428 on a whole, the whole thing, or just per person?
one night, just one night.
for everyone.
Mm,
That's for everyone, yeah.
yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah, so when you see it that way, then it, like I said, it makes it at least within your grasp
mm-hmm.
to do something. Like the Burn Bray one, even though it was $1,200, it was really a great place. I mean, the owners were there and they were lovely, and they fed us dinner, which you don't usually get. It was heated. You got to sleep in the room overnight,
Heated is plus.
but it's a plus. So, but we made it. I think we had like 10 or 12 of us. So when you divided it to reach the cost, it was reachable, and it was just a beautiful old Victorian mansion.
I'd love that.
So those things, it depends. And if you have these other connections that are within your vicinity, you say, hey, you guys want to come with us? Who's in? And if you got 10 people and you divide the cost, then it makes it reachable,
Yes.
So, but wow. Well, I'm so excited to have made your acquaintance, and I'm glad that you decided to join me on my show today. Thank you so much for sharing your evidence. And we'll have to keep in touch. So I'd love to have you back on and fill me in on things that progress with you in the future.
I would love it. It was so nice meeting you too.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. And safe move. I know it's always a chore going from one place to another. I'm in the middle of moving from New Jersey to North Carolina. So I know what you're going through to another state. It's a lot of work. So,
Yes, it,
but thank you again, guys. I appreciate you coming.
Oh, you're
Right.
welcome.
Thank you.
And thank you, Tacky Chris. We couldn't do it without you. If you like listening to this week's episode and you're into all things paranormal, check out my other show, Eleanor Wagner's Strange and Scary podcast, out of the Paranormal UK Radio Network, which is available wherever you get your podcasts. And if you like reading books and you want to read mine, you can find the links to them on my website, authoreleanorwagner.com. I write about the history of the town and location, add the paranormal story to the mix, and finish it all off with photos and evidence. And I'm excited to share that I now have t-shirts available from both my Creepin It Reel podcast and Strange Scary World podcast. They're $15 each, and you can order them through my email, authoreleanorwagner@gmail.com. I hope that you will join me on Thursday, June 8th, when the Ghost Biker Exploration comes to talk to me about the paranormal. And thank you for joining me tonight. Have a good night.
I hope you've enjoyed this little journey down my own personal nightmare alley. If you're one of those people who experiences the paranormal and has stories of your own you've been filing away over the years, I want to hear about them. And if you're a part of a paranormal investigative team, even better. I'd love to have you on my show. Got a questionable photo? Send it in. Would love to have an open discussion here amongst the professionals. Reach out to me at authoreleanorwagner@gmail.com. Enjoy our soundtrack music, Headless Horseman by Alexander Nakarada, promoted by freestockmusic.com. And remember, no ghost story is better than a real-life ghost story. Until we meet again, make sure you're creeping it real.